Oh, without a doubt. That's always been on our plan. And that's why even this year when you go, look, we've only done, 3 steeple? So, like, Worlds was our focus, but I said we're not going to neglect going after the NCAA title. Like, that's on our thing, but we set her up for that, right? And so, yeah, she's got a huge picture, a huge vision on, I'm going to take on the world scene. I want to take on these big dogs. And same with the rest of these girls in here. They're not scared of that, and that's what I love.
Because when they get to be around her, it's like, okay, like if we're in the same conversation with Doris, then now like to the point, and I appreciate you acknowledging that now all of a sudden Lexi and Angelina, Lord willing, health providing, get to go to USA's and be like, okay, well, all those pros there, like we can run with all of them.
Exactly, and it gives them confidence, and that's just going to keep raising the next girl up in their program, the next girl up in the NCAA, and so on and so forth, and that's what our sport is all about. And so I'm proud of all the ladies today. Yes, I'm proud of Doris, but like that was amazing distance running for women and in the NCAA, and so I'm really proud as a coach for that.
So I appreciate it. I got her a little late, but were you expecting that sort of time today from her?
Well, we set out a plan to flirt with 9 minutes, and then when it fell off a little bit there in the middle, I was like, hey, okay, just keep the gas on. I wasn't expecting a 67 last lap, and I think once you saw the time and I told her about 600 out, you could break 9. You could tell all of a sudden her stride length, increased. She was attacking the barriers a little bit more aggressive. And then in that last lap, that was all just heart, right? So running 67 and going 8:58, am I surprised by it? No. Was I shocked in a 67? Yeah, I mean, that was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Where were you on the track that you yelled she could break 9?
Right over by the water barrier with 600 to go.
Yeah.
So I was right under where the tower is, right before you hit the water. And so she came through and I said, hey, if you pick it up, you can break 9. And all of a sudden, you just saw her react, and I was like, okay, here we go. Let's see what you got, girl.
Yeah. So she's, obviously already the collegiate record holder from last year, breaks again this year, but why do you think she's been able to improve so much this season?
Correcting all the little things. Like last year in the NCAA, it wasn't that I was holding back, but we had to correct form. We had to correct tactical racing. Like the NCAA is a new system, especially for international athletes. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. This is a new system. It's actually really intimidating, right? Like it's humbling, the NCAA. So I had to teach her how to run paces, run with girls, run tactics, right? Like just don't go out and run full throttle, right? And so once you learn that, and then once we started improving the form, it took a step back in other things in other areas, right? I didn't want to go full throttle workouts and then correcting form and tactics. It's just too much. So we kept changing one variable at a time. And what you see here was a culmination of all those things finally starting to come together. And I still think she's truly untapped. Like I think her best is yet to come. And so we're just going to keep going back to the drawing board and keep improving and keep working. And that's going to be our plan.
What about her form did you fix or change?
Well, she used to... the water pit, she used to go in and then land 2-footed.
Yeah,
and
she did that. I think she did that on the last one. Right?
It came up to her a little fast. I mean, running 67, we practice that, but when you're the last lap and running 67 pace into the water, what ended up happening is she stuttered 2 steps, and then I think she had to hit 2 out of the back, and so that kind of stumbled her, but the rest of them were perfect. And then same thing over the barrier. She still gets her right leg out a little bit to the side in front of her. We've been teaching her to get under her because she's a tall lady. So she can get it right out in front of her, get it down. Amazing. But when we correct those little things, it just saves a 10th here, a 10th there, 3 tenths, and that's adding up to all of a sudden, a larger deficit into her final time.
Yeah. What's the plan for the rest of the summer? Will she run Diamond Leagues? Like, what do you think? What are you thinking?
Well, she got to go back for Kenyan trials.
Yeah.
So she got to fly home and do that. We hope to get her into a race in August. We'll see how that kind of unfolds. We'll see how she's feeling, see how she responds to Kenyan trials and traveling. We'd love to get her in August race and then hopefully World Championships.
Yeah, but will she be based in Kenya in the lead up to the trials, or will she stay?
She's going to stay here, head there for the trials, and then come back.
Okay.
Yeah, so she'll be back in the U.S. base, getting ready for Worlds, and then head back out.
Okay. So are there any concerns, like having the trials at altitude, that might be a challenge, not training at altitude?
Not really. She's going to head out roughly about 2.5, almost 3 weeks before, so she'll have a full time to kind of acclimate.
Gotcha.
And then she'll come home 2 days after. So she'll really go out there, get 3 weeks of acclimation, kind of get back into a little bit of training, run it, and then come straight back.
But you've been thinking about Worlds from the start, of the year, you said, right?
Oh, yeah.
So had you been thinking she might be ready to challenge for a medal this year, or at the start of the year when you're thinking of Worlds, what are you thinking of she can do that?
I called her 3 days after NCAA's last year and I said, hey, do you want to be NCAA good and possibly great, or do you want to be world great? She said, world great, coach. And I said, all right, we're going for a medal.
Okay.
And that was 3 days after. So that's been on her mind, that's been on my mind, and that's been our kind of goal the whole year.
Well, it took a big step today.
Yeah,
So
appreciate
congrats.
it. Thank you.
Thanks.